Hello everyone, and welcome to the Open Mic Gripe with myself, Jay Rice, and my co-host Jeffrey Ide, the place where serious and silly complaints come to chat.
Open Mic Gripe is a weekly podcast dedicated to hearing your gripes, grievances, and opinions on any and all topics.
If you feel like we are wrong, inappropriate, or biased, then call in, email, or tweet and let your voice be heard. You can email us at openmicgripe@gmail.com, tweet to us at openmicgripe, or find us on Facebook under Open Mic Gripe.
Last episode, we got a chance to meet Travis Gilbertson, local musician and guitarist, as he talked about the origins and inspirations of his band San Haven Chuckle.
So jump on in and gripe on the Open Mic with Jay Rice and Jeffrey Ide and guest starring Travis Gilbertson.
Okay.
But at the same time, guess what? Didn't stop doing it.
Oh my. So, I have a couple of questions for you.
True.
Because we have had comedians in here.
Okay.
And we get to hear about what drives them nuts. Like people talking in the audience.
This is good.
From a musician's point of view, what kind of gripes do you have about the audience, about the industry, things that just really get you?
Ma'am, I don't give a fuck if you're getting married. Get off of my stage.
You don't like announcements?
like she's getting married. Good. Go to your fucking hotel room and fuck your fiance and get the hell off of my stage. I've been married, and I have nothing against marriage. It was a good time, but
Till the end.
Well, yeah, the end. Yeah. Oh, mine was great. Water slides. Divorce is awesome, but no, I don't. And when you say, well, I've always, now when people's like, she's getting married, I'm like, can we say her name? And I'll ask her, like, well, how long have you been together? And if they don't say 4 years, I'm like, you're making a mistake. But no,
I generally go with the mistake comment without asking.
Well, it's like, I think people that get married right away, it's terrible idea, man. You can't. Was Aziz Ansari says I purchased a sweater and looked at it a year later and thought, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
It's marriage is not a small deal.
Okay, it's not, let me guess. I'm making an assumption here. It's not the, hey, I'm getting married. It's probably bachelorette parties.
It's the bachelorette party for sure.
But it's the entitlement, and it's not even all that. It's just the entitlement that they feel like, hey, because I'm having something happening here, I can get up on your stage.
Yeah, isn't that the point of a fucking wedding? That they get to be the center of attention.
You're going to get your time to do this up. You get to be the center of attention. Right now, you've put into work to be the singer of the band, and to have you guys have the attention on you.
To be fair, though, Travis gets to get drunk and get paid to go up on stage.
I used to. I don't really get drunk anymore, but I used to.
Okay.
Too many things.
But just say he gets to, if he wants to, he gets to drink and get paid to go up on stage and make music. They're volunteering their time to go up there and get drunk and.
Well, they're not volunteering their time. They're getting paid.
Right.
True.
But
I'm volunteering my time because I rarely get paid. So stay off my stage.
It's not that good for you. You're getting married, but they'll sometimes walk right up to the microphone because they want to. They feel it as okay, I'll have people toast to you, but no, you cannot sing a song with us.
Yeah.
And it's not that that's something they ask for. It's when you say, because we're never rude. We try to be nice, and we're like, oh no, we generally don't do that. And then they, fucking purse up their lips and like, well, fuck you too. I'm like, all right, enjoy your divorce 1 year because you're already very pleasant.
But but I do know that you used to let a guy get up on stage and fake play the guitar.
No, that's me every show. No, we have guests that come up now and again, but
But they're not some
random person. And if I can already smell the booze on you and just see you're a sloppy mess,
And you've contributed greatly to that bar's tab that evening.
I pat myself on the back, but no, I've grown really tired of wasted people. You know, I mean, I used to be one of them. I mean, like, I can't tell you how many times I had to say to my band the next day, I am so sorry. You know, like, I don't get drunk. Like, I'll have a cocktail now and again, but
that's your first mistake, is apologizing.
well, no, man. When you're like risking,
Should consider it every once in a while, Jay.
No.
it's like when your friends are saying like you are testing the friendship.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like I was a drunken asshole. I was a drunken real asshole, and it's I don't know, and so I don't allow myself to lose control like that.
But
anymore.
apologizing means you're admitting fault.
Well, I
And
wasn't.
my policy is to never admit fault. Ever.
Well, I mean, that's an interesting technique.
I know what you mean. I
But,
think we've all been there. And I
yeah.
think
Nope.
that... Oh, stop it.
I'm still not wrong.
We've all been there, and I think it's great that you're able to evaluate, you know, how you consume alcohol. A lot of people just keep making the same mistakes over and over again.
That's very true.
And some people, if you live in Fargo, it's generally a lifestyle for many.
It's not a lot to do here, you know.
I know people whose entire friendship circles is at the Empire, a local dive bar.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like that. Everyone they know in town is there
And
every
people,
Friday.
and one thing I find interesting is people don't go out to do something and then happen to drink
Right,
when they're out.
right.
They go out to drink, and then there might happen to be a band there or
Yeah.
something, you know?
Well, that would explain Fargo's enthusiasm for cover bands.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's something to be said for it, man. There's money in it. There is money in being a cover band, but at the same time, like we were reaching a point where like you can play all the songs that you want to play,
Yeah.
but that's not going to get a crowd reaction, you
Yeah.
know. And whereas like you pick some shitty song that makes you want to cut yourself,
Yeah.
you'll get 100 people on that dance floor.
Can I make a gripe? And this is
It's
for
your
those
podcast,
who
man.
haven't really heard me griping about music before. I am not a big fan of music. I don't know much about it, and I am personally
We are the anti-music podcast.
right.
Yeah.
But
You should hear me yell at Jeffrey about quit talking to me about music.
oh, because I talk about music so much.
In hypothetical questions, yes, you do.
Once that was
Twice.
once.
It was twice.
Just to piss you off. Anyway, so my gripe is this: I want to go out to a bar and occasionally listen to music while I'm drinking, but the problem is the music is so damn loud that it makes it impossible to have conversation with the people I'm with, and I leave. I always leave when music starts because it's too loud. So, from a musician's point of view, can you help explain this?
Well, I mean, some people just don't like loud music, you know, and unfortunately in this area, a lot of the bars are small, and a PA will fill up a room. And then on top of that, you have people screaming conversations back and forth.
Yeah.
And that just, if you don't, you know, not seem insensitive, if you don't like live music, don't
Get the
go to
fuck
fucking
out.
bars with live music.
Yeah.
There's other bars, you know, but it's...
No, yeah, and I get it because it's, and one thing that at least I like about, you know, if you can talk during a band. I mean, granted, at the same time, it might not be respectful towards the band, but we have the same thing with comedy is where we have people come and talk, but guess what? That really interrupts because it's not like we have any other noise going on
Yeah.
to cover it, and then you're screwing up punchlines and everything, and yeah, and a lot of times, of course, the first thing to go when you get drunk is your auditory nerves. So people think that they're whispering to the person next to them, and
Yeah.
they're just basically screaming out the whole time.
Well, there's that asshole on stage who won't stop talking.
Yeah, I've got the mic.
Also, what is the obsession with using large speaker systems with maxed out I mean, what? I love
You
music.
sound like such an like
Yeah, no
old fuddy
joke,
duddy
dude.
right now.
Where's your walker, old man?
Why does music have to be so loud?
Bring back Buddy Holly.
I bet Buddy Holly could play acoustic.
When I hold my
He played a
ear horn, I
Stratocaster.
can actually hear it.
I'm just saying, you go to Ireland, you go to a bar or wherever in Europe,
And they
listen
just
to
have
the
tap
music.
dancing.
They have acoustic
Yodel,
music.
yodel.
They've got the fiddle, they've got the guitar, they've got the whatever they happen to use at the time.
Ooh, you like unplugged.
Flute, and they're playing.
Well, there's
music.
acoustic shows that you can go to, but again, I mean, if you're going to a rock show, you mic your instruments, you turn them on, and out of these machines comes music, and then again, in a lot of these, because I know we've been to these exact same bars, and they're small joints.
Yeah.
And you pump it through the PA, and like some bands, like they need a loud like stage sound, so they crank their amps up on stage. Whereas like with the San Haven Chuckle, like we try to keep a pretty low sound stage and let the PA do the work. Now that's not saying that's the right way or the wrong way, because different bands have different methods of doing things. Like punk bands, go look at their amps and they're all up to 10. But it really depends on the group. It does get loud for sure. Like Dempsey's, I've seen bands in there that take a year off of your life because they're so loud. But at the same time, there's like the band Pachin, and I'm not even a fan because I'm not a huge Irish music fan. But I mean, they're all playing like acoustic stuff, and they're not overly loud.
That I would enjoy.
What? Oh, just you, Jeffrey. Like, it's the simplest fix. Just leave.
Yeah.
I do. But it means that after a certain time, there aren't
You
any
want to
bars.
know what I hate? I hate when I go into a pizza parlor and I smell pepperoni pizza. As soon as I only want
Cheese pizza.
cheese pizza, and as soon as I smell the pepperoni, I just leave.
Fine, I get it. By the way, I'm the youngest in this group, so
Gross.
You are.
Oh, and here's another gripe I have, right?
Oh, God. It's all you today, huh?
Well, I'm waiting. Why don't you... All right. Travis is a vampire.
Okay.
Okay. I told you that in confidence, dude. What a dick.
This guy, I constantly forget your age.
Yeah, I wouldn't. You mentioned it earlier, and I wouldn't have.
He looks like he's 20.
Did you ask him if he wants to get out his age?
I
up?
didn't say his age.
I don't care.
Okay.
I didn't say his age. I'm just saying he looks like he's 20.
Yeah.
And I am constantly, I forget this. I forget that you're...
I don't. I people often like I'm 40 in 1 month, and I look early 20s, mid 20s, and almost like it's a punchline. People are like, "What's your secret?" I don't know. I in the 90s I did more cocaine than any healthy man should, and I should be dead, and I should look like a haggard piece of shit, but. I don't know, man.
Did you drink a lot of Jack Daniels in your younger years?
Yep.
I think because I people usually say that I look a lot younger than myself.
Yeah.
Than myself, whatever. You know what I mean?
I look a lot younger than myself.
That's right. I look a lot younger than myself. You heard me. I'm still right.
Yep.
But I drank a lot of Jack
I'm
Daniels
not
as well.
going to thank Jack Daniels because it's also killing my liver.
Jack Daniels,
I
if you'd
feel
like
like
to
it
sponsor the
preserved
show...
me from the inside out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It
It's
pickled you.
It pickled me. Yeah.
Once I had heard, because it was like right when I started like drinking around 20, when you really start finding what you're going to drink.
Yeah.
I found out that Sinatra drank Jack Daniels and nothing else. I'm like, it's good for me. It was good. It was good for
enough for
Sinatra,
Sinatra.
man. It's good for me. But and then like sometimes like you go to a bar, like me like in the beginning, and I remember this one time in particular. We were playing somewhere, and I ordered a Jack Coke, and there's an old dude next to me. He's like, Jack, oof. I'm like, fuck yeah, man. And so it's like he drove that nail in. But no, and yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's the only reason I have my girlfriend now is because I do look young. She would not be with me if I looked 40.
I know. I was just saying. I'm very impressed that he's got me beat because I mentioned that my girlfriend is 10 years younger than me. And you've got 17.
She's 23. It's amazing.
17
I have to
years
date
younger.
women my own age.
That's illegal. But no, we just we met and very much different. I mean, she is from a very religious background, and I'm very not. And but we were kind of both of us were going through things, in our lives, and we just started talking, and I was admittedly reluctant because I was like, 23 years old. Holy shit, man. What?
We all pretend that age doesn't actually matter as adults, but at some level you can't hide.
There are things you
maturity
can't
issues.
ignore. In it. But at the same, I mean, she's really smart. So, if she was an imbecile, it would have never lasted.
Yeah.
But she's a smart girl. She's funny, and that's quite honestly, if she were dumb as a box of rocks, I wouldn't care as long as she makes me laugh. And she's funny.
How much of your relationship is you making references to things that she has never heard of?
Oh, there's been a few of those. There's been a few. I just said before the show started that we were just talking movies the other day, and I brought up the movie Princess Bride.
Yeah.
And she said she had never seen it.
Yeah.
And I can't fucking stand that. I mean, Princess Bride is a perfect movie.
Yeah.
And this is I'm a dude. I'm a 40-year-old guy, and that movie is a perfect film.
I brought up Revenge of the Nerds. She had never heard of it.
See,
It's
that's
pretty
the thing,
good.
is, I couldn't imagine dating someone much younger than me because there are so many films that are so important to growing up for me. I
Revenge
couldn't
of the Nerds was
if somebody
actually one
had
for me.
not seen The Big Lebowski, I don't think I wouldn't be able to take them as seriously.
Well, then you can't take me as seriously because I don't even know if I've watched it all the way through.
Get out.
The Big
This is
Lebowski?
my
Really?
studio, man. You get out. Yeah, no, I just so yeah, it is funny when you talk about if you would get rid of something, like you'd want to get rid of phones. If we got rid of phones, my girlfriend would never know what the hell I'm talking about. Because I'll mention something and then she just has to look it up.
Wow.
Like I mentioned Thundercats. I'm like, go to work. And I said, they'll know what it... And nope, only one person even knew what the Thundercats was.
I heard there was a
"Shit,
live-action Thundercats movie coming out.
that might be possible.
That'd be unfortunate because I think you're remembering incorrectly. That cartoon was terrible. It was a terrible cartoon. But all of those cartoons were terrible. I used to swear G.I. Joe and Transformers, kids don't know what the hell they're watching. And so I bought every episode of Transformers. I'm like, it's no wonder I'm a fucking moron because these cartoons are terrible. But now I own all the episodes.
Nice.
The greatest cartoon that's ever existed from back in the day is Scooby-Doo because it's a skeptical cartoon.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a skeptical cartoon, and I didn't realize it back in the
And
day.
a stoner cartoon.
I guess, but
I mean, that's the legend anyway.
Yeah.
there were, you could definitely tell, the Shaggy characters definitely aiming at a particular demographic.
Yes. No, it was a good ragtag team.
All right. Yeah. No, I mean, think about it. Yeah, we even tried to even tried to do a whole episode, gripes about cartoons. We got about 20 minutes into it and we're like, no, we're done because...
Did you pick a particular cartoon, or were you just going from cartoon to cartoon?
we were trying to go through cartoons that we watched as young and then talking about how the cartoons today don't stand up. No, it didn't have any legs to stand on.
Nope.
Honestly, and I think when
It's all contextual and it's topical.
and when we got into it, it just wasn't.
Yeah, granted, if we had a similar shared, cultural zeitgeist of cartoons in our time, that makes sense that you can associate each other with them. You can talk about the early days of Nickelodeon. People can closely identify with those shows because we all grew up with them. But if you're outside of that demographic, it's meaningless. And it's not even interesting to talk about.
And if I'm sure if I had never seen Transformers or G.I. Joe and I watched them today, I'm like, fucking idiot kids. But I was a child. And so I'm sure some unfortunate kid's gonna look back and love the Teletubbies.
But I am absolutely convinced, though, that kids shows when I was younger were far more educational than kids shows are today.
Like Ren and Stimpy.
I was just gonna bring up Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy was a game changer.
Yeah.
And because then it was before you had, people and a dog or people with a talking car or something like that. Then Ren and Stimpy comes and this is an insane cartoon.
Yeah.
These are insane stories.
And that's what one thing that I loved growing up in the time that I did, because my parents are like, a cartoon is a cartoon is a cartoon. There was no differentiation between like whether it would be more adult themed or not.
Well, now we have an entire
Yeah.
late night channel that specializes, the
adult
Adult
cartoon.
Swim.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't have cable or TV in general, but there are some shows on there that are just phenomenal.
We are big Rick and Morty fans.
Rick and
I have
Morty.
yet to see it.
Wubba wubba
I hear it's
dub
great.
dub.
You have not seen Rick and this is a shout out to the audience. If you have not had a chance to see Rick and
If
Morty,
you like dark comedy,
dark comedy.
yep,
That's a good way to put it. It's dark comedy with a focus on science and philosophy.
Nice.
It's
and actually spoofing basically every gimmick or thing that you will ever see in any TV show.
they like to be meta.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty great. A podcast that I listen to, they mentioned it a couple times. I don't watch a lot of television.
Well, now people are going to be saying this while listening to this podcast.
Full circle, man.
Woo! So if I can go back, because one of the things, and I really do want to hear from anyone who listens to this, do we deviate too much from the topics at hand? Or are these types of deviation,
And if we do, are they unwelcome?
Right.
I think that's more the thing is. But of course, that could be on a case-by-case basis.
True.
Maybe people love this tirade on cartoons. Maybe some people are like, hey, I thought you had a musician in. Why are you talking about fucking cartoons?
Right. But I feel like...
Because he fucking brought it up!
So if I can take advantage of the time we have with a musician, what kind of gripes really get your goat?
And do it to music.
Yes.
I don't do a lot of like the whole blues.
Whip it out, Travis.
Oh, Jeffrey. No, I don't know. As far as gripes, it's just like I mentioned, that we started like doing like promoting science at our shows. You get these people who think if you love science, you're anti-religion and like that whole thing. And like, that's
No, there are people who can be hypocrites too.
oh yeah, yeah. But like this one time,
I bet you these same people that love Jesus and hate science probably also love a lot of the shit that science gave them.
oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Like as soon as they were done telling me that I'm a piece of shit for loving science, I jumped on their fucking iPhone and told the whole family about this heathen on the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it just how it's you see a lot of shitty human beings being a musician, especially you play around. It's my gripe is I don't know, and this is me sound like an old guy. Like I think I'm done getting drunk, and it's breaking my heart because I used to love getting drunk, but it's like. Especially lately, I'm seeing alcohol doing terrible fucking things to people. And people doing terrible things to one another because they can't handle their alcohol.
I'm not going to lie, alcohol is a pretty nasty drug.
Yeah.
Oh, and it gets this pardon because you can call the next day and go, oh, sorry about that, man, where then the very next day they're getting wasted again and doing the same fucking thing. That's where, like, me, myself, and, like, I'm really not preaching. I'm not. I don't give a shit if you drink and run yourself into a fucking tree. But it's are you hurting people along the way?
I'd probably try to care for that tree.
Well, you'll plant flowers around it, to remember the person, but whatever. But it's a lot like my stance on religion. Like, I don't drink if you want to, believe what you want to, but if people are getting hurt in the process, maybe you should reconsider what you're doing with your time.
Is that a common thing? Because of course, when you talk about music and rock bands and whatnot, you always think of kind of like the drugs and rock and roll, kind of alcohol, all kind of being together. Is there kind of a movement of a lot of musicians starting out drinking when they're in bands
For
and then
sure.
actually getting sober because of it?
Well, I mean, not a lot. I mean, I've seen a lot of great bands
Fall apart.
explode because, and not in popularity, just self-destruct because they find a drug of choice. Most of
Gotcha.
the time it's alcohol. And the most treacherous thing about an addiction is you can't see that you're the fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Right.
And I've been the asshole. I'm still an asshole, but now, I'm at least
Sober asshole.
control myself.
Do you find that it's different dynamic since your band tends to be full
good
of
question.
more rationally minded people as opposed to, I think about a lot of musicians. I think of very artistically minded people who are always trying to express themselves, and I can imagine that would be a lot harder to recognize the problems that come out of alcohol and drugs. And does it get any easier knowing that you guys are very rationally minded?
Well, we have a really good dialogue amongst us as far as, we are very reasonable guys. Admit it, I'll be completely honest. I'm probably me and the bass player are the most hot-headed, and whereas like Bud and Sean, they're really good barometers as far as like if they're getting bothered, I know I'm out of line.
I actually thought you were going to ask if you quitting drinking has had an effect with you and your bandmates if they have not stopped.
No, because I don't care that
Right.
they're getting drunk. I mean, it's just something that I realized that I'm really alienating myself by getting wasted. Whereas I don't think it was always that way, but I'm like getting older, and when I get drunk now, I just want to go to bed. I just want to go to sleep, and But I think since because I'm the lead singer, now that I'm not getting wasted, I mean, the shows are definitely more intelligible. You can understand what I'm saying. I can remember words a little bit better. But no, I think, because like Sean, our drummer, and Bud, the guitar player, we'll all get like, well, we used to anyway, get pretty drunk from time to time, depending on the venue we're playing. But we really have brought it back because, especially now we've decided that the San Haven Chuckle, we're not going to be a cover band anymore. We're an original act.
Right.
And, like, I don't give a shit if
If you fuck up.
If we fuck up a cover song. I don't
Right.
get, like, 500 miles, fuck that song. I'll get blackout drunk and puke that song out. But, like, if...
During a cartwheel.
Yeah, during a cartwheel, man. But now that we're really trying to... We want to make San Haven Chuckle a respectable act. Before we were just a party band, and now, I mean, after playing so many shows and increasingly people saying like, play more originals, play more originals. And we don't want to squander that opportunity. Who knows how no band lasts forever.
Right.
And we don't want people who have been with us for long enough are going to remember the drunken chuckle shows.
Right.
But now they're going to see us really caring about our craft and wanting to, be a good act instead of just a bunch of wasted dudes trying to outdrink the crowd. But
That's impressive.
yeah.
Well, do you find that living in Fargo is an impediment to the music industry? Or
There's really not much of a music scene. I mean, there's a few bands that have been around forever, but when we first moved here, we thought the scene was much larger and more impressive. And we played every venue in this town, and you realize, okay, we don't want to play a lot of these places because a lot of these places blow. And
Do you want to call them all out right now?
well, what would you go into that more? Because I want to know what about a venue makes it blow. What bothers you about it?
Well, how about shitty sound, shitty people that usually go there?
Yeah, there's a particular place in West Fargo that has a boot next to their name. And
okay.
And I don't want to seem insensitive or like an ignorant asshole, but everybody that goes there hates their fucking life because their life sucks. And that bar fucking sucks. It's a collection of miserable people. Don't get me wrong. There's been a couple.
I'm glad they're corralled into one place.
Man, if only a comet would hit that building, there'd be housing for happier people.
Well, that's funny because you just said comet, and for a second I thought you said comic.
Yeah.
Because what you're saying, it makes me. It's really funny is because comedy works in New York because people are miserable. Comedy isn't as easy out in California because people are pretty happy with it. So it sounds like what I need to do is go out to the bar with the boot and try to do some comedy because if they're fucking miserable, they might actually like what I'm saying.
You might recruit some more comics as well.
But yeah, I mean, just like when you walk into a place and there's just a feeling about like, oof, this place is. There's sadness in the air of this building, you know? And we've had good shows there and enjoyed it, and that's like a cover band place.
Okay.
And so
it's something where for like Jeffrey, he wants to have a conversation and have a background, except for probably there, it's probably a little bit too loud for him, of course. But I guess that's the kind of the place that it's not really like the focus is on the band and necessarily.
Well, they just want to hear, it could be a jukebox. For all they care, you know.
Right.
But it's almost like Trolls. I mean, when someone plays a shitty song on a jukebox, they're not like, "Fuck you, jukebox." Whereas when you're in a band,
that's what I'm gonna start doing, by the way.
Fuck you, jukebox.
But like when in a band, you play a song that they don't like, they'll tell you like, "You're fucking terrible." I'm like, I'm sorry, we're not playing Brown Eyed Girl. Go back to your fucking duct tape window trailer and go to bed, you stinking of cheap booze dick. It's like, it sucks.
Come on, let's get this rage out.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of like a lot of those. I got roofied at that particular place.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. We were playing a show and I had a different job at one point and this
roofie tester.
Yeah, yeah, bit off more than I could chew. But no, this girl that I worked with came up to me. She's like, "This creepy dude just bought me a drink, and I don't want it." And like, she didn't seem concerned. She's like, "I don't want this fucking douchebag's drink." I'm like, "I don't give a shit. I'll drink it." And so I drank it, and
and then you gave a shit.
And then 20 minutes later, I'm like, "What's going on?"
Wow.
And I'm like, it feels like someone's turning up like a wasted dial. I'm like, "What?" And I turned to Bud. I'm like, "Something's wrong, man."
Is this when you had a show going on too?
Yeah, we were playing a live show. They finished the night without me.
Wow.
I said I've got to go outside, and they continued because they didn't know what the hell was going on either. And I went outside, fell down on the gravel parking lot, and realized I couldn't get up. I mean, I've never been like that.
And then this creepy dude came out to the alley.
He was good. He was a good kisser, but
from what I could remember,
he was a tender lover.
I hope you could at least identify him.
No,
not like this.
I didn't even not like this.
You woke up in a country blasting Hummer.
I could taste your Pall Malls, but no, I wouldn't. I never saw the guy, and so I crawled out to our vehicle and I went to sleep in the car where I remained until like my wife had to come and get me from miles away. I mean, she wasn't even at the show. But the guys, because they knew, I mean, we were like a second set. I mean, we weren't even hammering them back, but it was weird. And so, like, that's like.
Yeah, I could see that would be a shit place.
And
if that's what you're going through.
Yeah, and then, like, that's the one thing, like, when you play original shows, you're playing venues where people go because they want to listen to music.
Right.
Whereas, like, you play a cover show, they don't give a fuck who's playing, unless you're friends with that band.
Right.
They don't care. They like it's just a live jukebox that they can scream suggestions or criticisms about. And
So back to the original music. How do you write the songs? What goes through your head to say this is a message worthy of being in a song or not?
Myself, I usually all of the songs that I write are true stories. They're all based on someone I know or a scenario that happened.
And have you wrote a song about being outside the boot bar?
No, that's not worthy of the
Secret
limerick.
tender lover.
Yeah, pal male kisses.
Came out the back door into my back door.
But
You guys are cruel.
but no, like that's just me. I'll think of just something that happened or like a place that
Can you give an example of like you said they all are, but I'm guessing you do take some kind of liberties with it, don't you? Or not?
Well, the names are changed to protect the innocent and the guilty. But
is there like a favorite story that you have that turned into a song? Or a favorite incident?
There's some that like really on our first album. There's a song called "Throws Me," and initially I was living in Jamestown at the time, and a female friend of mine had this on and off boyfriend who was in some trouble, and he shot himself, and so like this and I only met him like 2 or 3 times. Don't know the man, to be completely honest.
You have to be in a lot of trouble if that's your solution.
I could go into details, but I don't. He did some less than honorable things and felt so ashamed that he took his life. But so at the time, this man's suicide was on my mind, and not just this man's, but the act of suicide, being so robbed of hope, and desire to be alive, and so I just threw this song together, and it like I had only had it written like a day or two. It was a brand new song, and my friend Lanny had a bunch of recording equipment, and he'd always been a fan of my writing. He's like, dude, let me record some of your stuff. And so I was in his basement, and I recorded this song called "Throws Me" about this person who commits suicide. I recorded it in his basement, and his wife had a very bad bone disease and other physical ailments that her life was a miserable life. And again, she was just a lovely woman. I mean, I knew her well. She was a lovely woman. But so I just recorded this demo in her basement. And like a year or two after that, she couldn't handle her pain. And so basically sitting a few feet from where I recorded this song, she shot herself. And so, I mean, this song about suicide, became much more poignant to me because she knew I recorded this song. She shot herself feet away from where I recorded the song. And so that's one we chose for the album because that story had become, for me, like mythic. I mean, to me, like when I play that song, I think of her every single time. The song's not about her, but it's now forever attached to her.
I mean, I would feel remiss since we have you in here with a guitar and we haven't done anything with you. Can you just play like a little bit of that song, or whatever you're comfortable with?
Sure.
I don't want to put you on the spot.
Oh no, it's your place, man.
All right, now take off your pants.
Not like this.
Wait, you guys still have pants on?
They're not mine. You left me twisted, naked and wasted, yeah. But she throws me when she goes away. She wants it, she'll show me, please. Healthy I will be. 3 more won't kill me. Moments soon after, drowning in laughter, yeah. But she throws me when she goes away. She wants it, she'll show me, please. I'm alright for now. I'm alright for now. I'm alright for now. I'm alright, yeah. Meds and then bed rest. Monitor the progress. Fruit juice and cable. Just until I'm stable, yeah. She throws me when she goes away. She wants it, she'll show me, please. I'm alright for now. I'm alright for now. I'm alright for now. I'm alright, yeah.
That was beautiful.
Very
man.
nice.
That was really nice.
Thanks, man.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Wow.
Now bow, motherfuckers!
And in the podcast.
You were mentioning a blowjob. Just kidding.
Wow, thank you so much for coming on the show today, and really appreciate the stories that you've told.
Thanks, man. Thank you for allowing me to come.
Yeah, we hope we can get you back on the radio show
Will do.
when we're up and kicking.
Great.
Do you have any gripes that you want to play out at the end? Just play yourself out on a few gripes. You could just always just play. I don't want to put too much pressure on you. You could always
Oh
just
no! I like you mean
play
like
us out.
play a gripe?
Yeah,
I
play a
don't
gripe.
know.
Just random shit.
No, I
You don't want to.
I would feel under the gun and I'd fail.
All right.
okay.
Will you do us a favor? Will you just play a little ditty while we read our outro?
Well, also,
Sure. I'll
do you
play
have any?
lightly.
Do you have any shows coming
Oh,
up?
good call.
The 24th we are at.
Go ahead and take a sec to look it up.
Look it up here.
And again, while he's looking that up, again, people, hopefully, you will come out. I don't know what I'm saying. Hopefully, come out as atheists or homos or whatever you are. Just be who you are, man. An asshole. Just come out. Or turn on your radio and listen to Open Mic Gripe live radio. I don't know. We're going to have to figure out a name for it because I keep calling it a podcast.
Right.
But check it out, 95.9 KRFF Radio Free Fargo.
Yes.
And we should be on Thursdays at 6 to 7.
6 to 7.
6 to 7.
Awesome, man. Congratulations, guys, on
thank
the
you.
big step up. That's awesome. So, yeah, the San Haven Chuckle, we play this Friday, the 9th, at Dempsey's.
October 9th.
October
Dempsey's.
9th. And if you're in Fargo on the 24th, we're playing the Side Street, and I think it's their last show before they move. So come out. That'll be
October 24th, Side Street.
Okay.
Yeah, and so other than that, yeah, we also play the 28th. It's a Wednesday. It's an acoustic show that we play.
Ooh, one Jeffrey can go to.
Yeah.
The October 28th. Where was that one at?
The 28th is
Yes.
Dempsey's. Again.
Dempsey's. Excellent. Well, Trevor Gilbertson, we would like to thank you so much for coming out and griping with us on the open mic.
I really appreciate it.
Hey,
It's the first time we've had music live on the show.
Very true.
well,
Yes.
thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely.
Right. So Jay and I would like to thank you for joining us and listening to the Open Mic Gripe, the place where serious and silly complaints come to chat.
We will be bringing you new episodes every week, and we encourage everyone to participate by sending in your gripes, grievances, and opinions to openmicgripe@gmail.com, or tweet to us at openmicgripe, or find us on Facebook under Open Mic Gripe, or tune in and call in from 6 to 7 on Thursdays on 95.9.
Absolutely. Feel free to check that as well on the interwebs that will be broadcasted live on the internet as well.
You know, by the way, I had a nice flow, and you just totally fucked it up. I'm just saying.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. And if
you didn't, check us out next week when we will be discussing your gripes.